Good morning. It's Tuesday, September 24th, and I've been off the line for a while now because of computer problems, but I think I've got most of the computer problems solved, and so I'm back here to do a rant. And I want to tell you that I missed doing this for a couple of days, but then on the other side of the coin, my other interests were able to take place. And so I finally got this computer usable again. I had several different operations that had to be done. We removed some old files. We reorganized things. I went back and forth to the Geek Squad shop in Huntington, and they helped significantly, but I went there 3 or 4 times in this period to get things done. Leave the computer there, let them unwind it and everything. So that's enough about all of that. And I'm trying to figure out this morning what I should really talk about. And I'm not sure that I could come up with anything that really struck a note, let's say. So I'll tell you the one thing that I decided is worthwhile speaking about this morning. It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump and his decision not to debate Kamala Harris in October. Now, Kamala offered to debate him on that particular day. And Trump has claimed, and rightly so, I can't argue with his reasoning, but I can tell you I believe that the man recognizes the fact that he hasn't done very well in his debates. In fact, the only debate that he really won was Joe Biden's poor performance. Wasn't anything that Trump did on that particular day that made him victorious. But he's done poorly in all the debates, even though he won't publicly admit anything like that. He will always say how great he did and how well he performed and everything. And so he wants to go to the presidency, to the electoral people in November without a second debate. There's no question in my mind that he doesn't want to debate again because he doesn't want to do poorly again. I believe that he recognizes that his actions on the debate stage have not been superior as he claims them to be, because he wanders off course constantly and continues to lie. We know that. So I'm not upset that he doesn't want to debate Kamala. And I look at this thing and I say to myself, it is very close to election day, so why should I put myself in that bucket? And he's right, people have started to vote and everything. So he's using that as his excuse to avoid a second debate with Kamala. But meanwhile, in spite of all of that, everything that I have read up to this point about the election is very confusing in my mind, because there is no clear path to who might be victorious. Every time you look at a set of polls, the answers are not consistent. Right now, in my mind, I believe it's a dead even race. And even though the polls came out recently where Kamala was ahead in a couple of states, and now she's not ahead in those states, and he's ahead in a couple of states, and now he may not be ahead in a couple of states. So all the polls that they're gathering together to present information to the public are not to be trusted at this point. I I don't think that there's any poll that has convinced too many people of the way this election is going to turn out. But the pollers keep polling because that's their job, and they keep trying to get information. And every time a poll comes out, it's a different poll, and they have a different time frame when they did the job, and they went to the other states. They're in New Jersey. They're in Ohio. They're in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a very big state. It's a swing state, and it's large. A lot of people voting in Pennsylvania, so they're there. And then they're in Ohio, another swing state, and Michigan. So this election is still way up in the air. There is nobody that is charging ahead. And the money, think about the millions and millions of dollars that these two candidates are collecting. And Camilla is killing Trump in the collection area. She's gotten more money, twice or three times the amount of money that he's gotten up to this point. And when I look at that, I think it's a disgrace that we spend all this money on electing people. And I think our election cycles are just ridiculous. We ought to cut them down to size. Just a couple of months every 4 years would be fine. And a limited amount of money that you would be allowed to spend to be elected. Why should we have the general public pitching billions of dollars into the coffers of these guys who knows what they're doing with all this money? And I don't think that Trump has used a penny of his own money, and he's probably using a lot of the money he collected for his defenses, for his lawyers and everything, because he's liable to lose an election and go to jail. So this election is very important to this country, and it's worthwhile talking about and thinking and watching it very closely, because the state of this nation is hanging in the balance. So I leave you with that madness this morning. And hopefully I'm going to be able to finish all of the mishmash associated with this talk and get it out to you in a proper time frame. So I leave you with that. Have a great day. I'm glad to be back. Take care. Bye.